What is a depot and what do I need it for? Where can I open a depot in Germany and what are the relevant criteria I should check as an investor? In this new video, we will talk about depots, their conditions and my personal opinion of different providers. So let's go with this next video. Hi everyone, my name is Sven and I want to show you with my videos that taking care of your personal finances doesn't need to be complicated. In today's video, we will have a look at different depots available here in Germany and compare them to each other based on different criteria. But before we compare several providers and their condition, let's briefly define what a depot is and why it is needed when starting investing into the stock market here in Germany. A depot, or also called depository account, is a kind of financial account containing all your financial products like stocks, bonds, ETFs or funds. You can think of it as a warehouse where all your investments are stored. In the past, stocks were printed on paper and stored in a safe or other kind of secured storage. With the progress in digitalization, financial products are all exchanged and stored electronically, but the concept of a depot as a form of a warehouse is still existing. In today's time, you can compare it to your personal bank account, which stores your cash just as a depot stores your financial products. A bank account and a depot work exactly the same, showing the current balance of your cash or portfolio and all the changes of the balances over time. In order to start investing into the stock market, you need a depot in Germany, so that you can buy, sell and store your financial products like ETFs or company shares. Depots are offered by different brokers and banks, but the terms and conditions vary among them. So let's compare some of them so that we can see what is the best depot here in Germany. Let's have a look together at the different criteria which in my opinion are important for selecting the right depot for you here in Germany. The list of criteria might be not fully exhausting and there could be other criteria which are personally important to you. So just take my list as a starting point and add or also remove different criteria for your personal research. When looking for a provider in Germany, you should definitely consider the following four aspects in my opinion: the depot fees, the minimum savings plans transaction amounts, the number of available ETFs, and the fees per savings plans transaction. At some providers, you might need to pay a regular fee for your depot, whereas at others the depot is available for free. So you should definitely have an eye on this cost factor. The second point you need to consider are the available ETFs. You might have already done some research and chosen some ETFs you want to invest in, but that does not automatically mean that these ETFs are also available at each provider. Some offer significantly less ETFs than others. Also, from a cost perspective, you should also compare the fees for each savings plans transaction. As you probably invest on a monthly basis, these amounts can aggregate quite fast to a reasonable amount. Last but not least, I would check the minimum amount needed for a savings plans transaction. As you might just start your investment journey at the stock market, your planned investment amounts might be quite small. In this case, you should choose a provider which offers savings plans starting with a smaller minimum amount. Let's also have a look at the different providers I want to cover in this video. Here's my list in alphabetical order: the Comdirect, Consorsbank, DKB, Finanzen.net, Flatex, ING, Scalable Capital, Smart Broker and Trade Republic. Now it's the time to compare all of these providers based on the four criteria I just introduced to you. Our first criteria are the depot fees of the different providers. Over the last years, you could see a constant trend of declining fees leading to nearly zero fees for most brokers. Also, all our 9 providers of this video have no direct depot fees. But for 2 of them, this is linked to some conditions. At Comdirect, your depot is for free for the first 3 years. Afterwards, you might need to pay around €2 per month if you don't fulfill one of the following 3 criteria. You also have a bank account with Comdirect, you do 2 active trades within each quarter, or you have a savings plan in place which is at least executed on a quarterly basis. Also, flatex links the free depot to some conditions. If you just invest into ETFs or funds, the depot is for free. But for company shares, you pay a fee of 0.1% per year. Next, we compare the minimum savings plans transaction amounts required at each provider. For that, I created a table giving an overview over all the brokers. At Scalable Capital and ING DiBa, you can start investing with €1. This would not make really sense, but shows that there's no real threshold holding you back from investing at the stock market. You can already start investing with really small amounts per savings plans transaction. Even the other minimum amounts of 10 or 25 euros are extremely low in my opinion and give an excellent starting point for nearly everyone to start investing. If you want to invest bigger amounts every month, you are probably not limited to any provider in the list. My third criteria is the number of available ETFs at each provider. When you decide to invest into a specific ETF, you also need to have the matching broker offering you to buy that specific product at the stock market. In the following table, you can see the total of available ETFs per provider. These numbers, of course, can change quite quickly, so that the numbers will be outdated quite fast. But it should give you a feeling where to find comparable more ETFs for saving plans. At the top, we have here Scalable Capital, flatex and Trade Republic, all with more than 1,000 available ETFs. If all of the ETFs you want to invest in are also available with one of the smaller brokers, you can still choose one of these. But be aware of some possible limitations in your ETF choice in the future. The best is probably to check on just ETF whether the ETF you want to invest in is offered by your provider of choice before opening the depot there. What you should definitely consider are the fees per savings plans transaction at each provider. When you, for example, want to invest into 2 different ETFs with these monthly savings plans, you generate 24 transactions over the year, where each of them might trigger some fees at your broker. Let's first look at the general conditions at each provider before putting them into relation of different amounts per transaction. At the DKB, you usually pay a flat amount of €1.50 per savings plans transaction. At Comdirect and Consorsbank, the fees are 1.5% of the transaction amount, but both of them also have some special ETFs for free, where no fees are raised. With Smart Broker, the fees are 0.2% of the transaction amount, but at least 80 cents per transaction. Let's now see how these general conditions translate into specific fees based on the amount of a savings plans transaction. For the first 5 providers, all transactions are for free and no fees are to be paid at all. With the DKB, the fees are constant at €1.50 per transaction independent of the invested amount. At Comdirect and the Consorsbank, the fee of 1.5% is extremely significant with higher transactions amount over €100. Smart Broker shows its minimum fee of 80 cents for smaller investments, whereas with bigger amounts you are charged with 0.2%. When it comes to fees, the offer definitely differs between the providers and you should compare them before deciding for one of them. This was already the whole depot check and the most important criteria which you should consider when choosing your own depot provider. But what is now the conclusion for the best depot or also the worst depot based on the previous comparison? If you're just looking for a broker to start investing into the stock market, my personal choice would be probably Scalable Capital or Trade Republic, due to the free savings plans transactions, the low minimum investment amounts, and a significantly better offer in terms of available ETFs compared to other competitors. When you're also looking for other services next to an investment depot, like for example some bank or savings accounts, I would probably go for the ING DiBa. Here you also pay no fees for savings plans transaction with a great offer of different ETFs. But also one of the other brokers might be suitable for your own approach. In the cases of Consorsbank and Comdirect, I would be personally careful with the percentage fees of each savings plans transaction, as the fees can aggregate quite fast to a significant amount. Probably both providers will need to improve their offer to stay relevant with the rest of the market in the future. Currently, I am using the DKB, which I already shared in my last video with you. This might not be the smartest choice in terms of fees, and this video will probably push me to finally move my depot to one of the other providers. With that, I will be able to save the €4.50, which I currently pay for my 3 savings plans transactions each month. I hope this video will help you to find the best depot for your own investment journey. Especially when you're just starting, the correct depot choice can save you some cost and efforts in the future. To stay on board for more content, feel free to subscribe and leave a like to support these channels. I am looking forward to getting your feedback in the comments below and preparing the next video for you. So see you soon and have a great day.